This is a counseling video for school. It is not a real session. You didn't hear that. Yes, you did. Okay, John, how are you this evening?
I'm doing okay.
You doing okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so tell me what brings you by today.
I just came to talk about a lot going on in my life today. A lot of stuff that just feels a lot of stress. Just feels like it's feeling overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of was trying to look for some help to kind of handle it. So that's pretty much what I got. What I got going on today.
A lot of stress going on in your life right now, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just looking for a way to cope.
Yes, looking for a way to cope and deal with it.
It's been on your mind, and you just got to the point where you just needed to figure out how to fix this.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay. So um since you made the call, asking to make the appointment, has anything changed? Tell me about any changes that have occurred since you made the phone call to me.
Well, definitely. I had a long weekend. I had it was my daughter's birthday, and we had a lot of stuff that to get done that weekend. And I was already tired. We had to did something for my daughter's function as well. We had some stuff that needed to get fixed around the house. I had to get that taken care of, and as well as the following day had to that other stuff dealing with a child and wanting to go to different daycare. So all this was going on, and at the same time, just some other stuff. It just felt like stuff which just wasn't getting done. I mean, it was just like it's like you was working hard, but it's like I guess you weren't seeing the results, or it just for some reason stuff was seemed stagnant. I just didn't. I guess I just made it be stressed. It just felt overwhelming. Like it's like it was constantly on your mind, like, did this get done? Did this get done? Did this get done? And you're not seeing it done, you're like, oh, what's going on? But really, it was kind of like that's what I was pretty much dealing with since the call.
Sounds like things have been pretty stressful,
Yes, it has.
and it feels like you've been running and running and running, trying to cross that marathon finish line, but it's almost as if you've been on the treadmill this entire time.
Yeah, like going nowhere, just running in place.
I can see how that can be frustrating, stressful, overwhelming. And now you've gotten to the point where you just need a solution. Okay. So sounds like not much has changed since you made the phone call requesting an appointment.
No, not much has changed. Not much has changed
Okay. Okay. So took a big step for you to say, okay, this is an issue. So I definitely commend you for making the call and trying to do what you can to relieve some of the stress that you're experiencing. If you were to say, for instance, um, tonight when you go to bed,
all.
you are in a deep sleep and you are sleeping peacefully. You're dreaming. You're dreaming about everything you have going on right now. Tell me about what would be the perfect dream or the perfect solution for everything you have going on. What would that dream look like?
The dream would look like stuff getting done, um, seeing the fence fixed, seeing everyone having a good time, seeing that the event was a success at the same time, um, cleaning up after the event. It just becomes a breeze. Everything that's on my mind that has to get taken care of gets taken care of. So it's almost like whatever's going on in my mind is done that day. So it's like that would be like a perfect dream. Like wake up with like a smile, like it's done. That would be a perfect
Mm. Sounds like that to-do list is long.
dream. Yes, it is. It is. It is.
And not only is it long, but it takes more than just a day to get everything done that you want to get done.
Yes, it does. It does. I try to jam it into one day so I can like just to get it out the way, but it's just not realistic. It's a process. Like it just takes each day has its own issue. So
So not only are you dealing with your to-do list, but you're also dealing with the problems from that particular day, which makes things even more exhausting for you.
right,
Okay. So you described your perfect day or your the perfect solution to your problems is to have everything taken care of, every problem, everything on your to-do list, have it taken care of in one day.
right. Yes.
Okay. So that will relieve a whole lot of stress, whole lot of frustration, anxiety. It will eliminate a whole lot of stuff.
Yes, it would. It would. It definitely would.
Yeah, you seem tired even now just talking about it.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It takes its toll. It's something that's it's like every day, every day, every day, every day. It's something that has to get done. It's like it's almost like a big part of the engine that needs to function and it needs to keep going. If it stops, the whole engine just shuts down. So that's what makes it. It just has to get done. It's just part of it. So that's what makes it stressful.
A lot of what you're feeling and what you are thinking and believing comes from you feeling like all or nothing. Like if it all of it has to get done. And if it doesn't get done, then it lingers on in your mind, your thoughts, and in your feelings. Even though you're doing bits and pieces to get that to-do list taken care of, because it's not absolutely complete, everything on your to-do list is not checked off, even though you're working towards it, it brings on that anxiety, it brings on that stress, it brings on all of that, even though you really and truly are working on that to-do list.
Okay, I guess you could say that.
So you're what I'm hearing you say, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong, is that you want it all to be done that day perfectly with no issues, and you just want it done quickly.
Yeah, I want to get it done, get it out the way. I'm gonna get it off my plate, get it off my desk, get it done.
Okay. Okay. And the perfect day, the perfect dream would be to get it all done that day and out the way.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So tell me what have you done previously that's been effective to relieve some of that stress?
I would delegate. Putting the responsibility with somebody else and just making sure it's taken care of. I would also try to slow things down and really, really have a major focus on getting one thing done, then going to the next instead of having everything just juggling in my head. So I think those are stuff that was pretty effective um, beforehand. So,
Okay. So what I hear you saying is having someone else help you do the work is
mm-hmm.
one thing that has been effective. And the second thing that has been effective is to take your time, get one thing done, then go on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
That way you've kind of made it realistic for yourself and you're not overwhelming yourself with this huge to-do list. And then if something on that to-do list doesn't get done, it brings on more stress. So it sounds like you broke it up into parts.
Right.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being that wasn't effective at all, and then 10 being that was the best thing I could have ever done, how would you describe the two methods that you just told me that were effective?
I would say 7.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 7.
A 7
Mm-hmm.
for both of those methods.
Yes.
Okay. And so tell me why wouldn't you score it as an 8 or a 10?
Because it was some, even though it was effective, it still had its issues. Like if I slow it down, then if I'm expecting it to no excuse, or I expect to have some kind of result that day. And, I slow it down. I want to get it done today, and I just focus on that particular day. It doesn't get done. So it's like I get more in stress mode, even though I'm focusing on one thing. But it's almost like I have a mental timeline for this to get that one thing to get before I move on to this one. To focus on this, but I have a mental timeline for I say this need to get done in 2 days, or this need to get done today. If it's not get done, then I get stressed.
Okay. So you put a lot of pressure on yourself to meet deadlines, and if you don't, then it brings on a lot more stress.
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay. So challenging yourself and putting a lot of pressure on yourself seems to be a key issue for you.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So even though it was effective, you doing one thing at a time, you still put that added stress on yourself.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So on a as far and that was both of those methods, right? You said you would score both of them as a 7.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So on as far as looking at another method, have you looked at any other methods of trying to
No, I
solve
have
the
not.
issue?
I have not. I have not.
Okay. 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 And I see that you found those effective in the past. Okay. So, how are you? So that's something you want to do, or not necessarily something you want to do, but you do want to come up with a solution for what you have going on now. How would you? Are you willing to apply what you did in the past to now?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. Now um we do offer I do offer homework for whatever you have going on. But it's kind of like it has to be something that you want to do.
Okay.
So tell me something about what you would want to do as far as homework that could be used to help you with your issue.
I could definitely give myself a schedule,
Okay.
calendar. Definitely take notes. I think that would be some homework I could see myself following up with.
Notes.
Like create a calendar, or a chart, put a checklist, something like that. Probably I could see myself following up with that as far as homework.
Okay. So that's realistic for you.
Yes, that's very realistic.
Okay. Well, that's a good method. That's a good method. It sounds like that has possibly been effective for you in the past before.
Well, I know definitely the checklist has been very effective in the past.
Okay.
I just don't know why I stopped doing it, but it was effective in the past.
Okay. So a checklist is something you would want to incorporate.
Yes, yes. It's
Okay.
something that's visual. It's
Okay. So tell me about is there something that I haven't asked or maybe a subject we haven't touched upon?
tangible. I guess like where does that come from? As far as did you grow up seeing people that raised you act like that or dealt with it in that form of fashion? So I guess that's
Just trying to figure out where the etiology or how did you come to get to a point where you allowed not accomplishing a to-do list to be that stressful and overwhelming.
yes.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Okay. My dad, he was a straight deadline person. Believe in getting stuff done. You got a deadline, you get it done. He would be concerned if it's not gonna get done by a certain time. Um, he pretty much, that's how he pretty much was. My mom wasn't like that, but my dad was. My mom was like, it needs to get done, but if it don't, it's always tomorrow. That's how she would see it. Not my dad. If it's due on Monday, it needs to be done by Monday.
So you have two parents that were totally opposite as far as accomplishing certain goals,
Mm-hmm.
and you find yourself taking on the more of a personality or behavior characteristics of your dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's an understanding that it may have come from him, but what you're trying to find out is why did you pick up that personality type and his behavior opposed to your mom, who seems to be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, she was relaxed.
Okay. And it sounds like that's what you're interested in being a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, cause it's not as stressful. It's when you relax, sometimes you see it. You get more done when you're relaxed than when you're all stressed. It seems like my mom, she would say it would get done tomorrow, but she got a lot done. And, compared to my dad, it's if it don't get done Monday, it's a concern. But my mom got a lot more done than my dad. So it's like I guess that's like the route to go is to be relaxed. So I guess I don't know. I guess it's a process, something you have to practice as a habit. I guess I don't know.
So, has there ever been a time in your life where you relaxed and kind of not let things get to you as much?
Yeah. When I slow things down, um, really focus on what I value, what's important, and just kind of put it in order. And then when I put it in order, it kind of slows down the whole situation. You start to put it stuff that's important to in perspective. It's like you're placing it in order, like from first to fourth or something like that. So when I do that, it kind of tend to like just kind of slows everything
Is that a and that's good. That's good that you said that because you've had this happen before, and
down.
like you said, you had that reflection of let me slow it down. Let me slow things down. Let me put things in perspective on what's important and what's not. And that almost sounds like that to-do list you were talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
um, and kind of analyzing what needs to be done first and getting it and having it put just kind of putting things in perspective like that. So yeah. So okay. So what we'll do is um before your next session,
Hmm.
let's work on that.
Okay.
Let's work on that. Identifying what you value and um, putting things in perspective like you did before,
Okay.
and just kind of write it out, bring it back when you come in, and we'll review it. We'll see what works for you.
Okay. Okay.
And so I noticed that you're willing to do what you need to do to to try and rectify or clarify this issue.
Mhm.
And so that's good. That's
Okay.
good. That's good. That's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
So we'll
Okay.
work on that.
Okay.
Any concerns? Anything that we could do better in our next session? Or
Not
be
at the.
open and honest. Just be open and honest. Anything you don't like about this session?
Definitely we can talk about my past a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, things we can do is to give examples. You know, probably those two things.
Okay. Examples. Tell me about examples.
Just give me an example of a situation or more my upbringing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll
Okay.
probably be two things in the next session
Okay.
that we can talk
Okay. Okay. And you said examples of your upbringing.
about. No, examples. I'm sorry. Examples of situations to talk about my upbringing as well.
Okay. So can you clarify that for me? Because I'm not quite understanding.
Examples of as far as current situations, and for give me an example of a particular issue or particular something that needs to be done, and you seeing it's not getting done and how you're reacting.
Okay.
And as far as my upbringing, as far as when you grow up, how was your dad reaction or how was your mom reaction, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay. Okay. So you really want something that'll get an idea of why you act the way you do and how it relates to something you've already been through,
Yes.
especially as it relates to growing up.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 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 Well, we can look at that. So I'll see you next week.
Okay.
And anything else? Any other concerns?
No, that was it. That
All
was it.
right. Well, thank you, John, for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.